I want to take the 4 aces. So I'm going to take the 4 aces. Now, I'm pretty certain that you all are familiar with the aces, but we'll just go through them just so that you can see them on here. We have this one, which is the ace of clubs, often referred to as the one with the black knobbly bits. This one here, the ace of diamonds, a girl's best friend. This one here is the ace of love, the ace of hearts. This one here is a good looking one, and one of the most popular ones, the ace of spades. So what we got here are 4 aces. We got the 1, the 2, the 3, the 4. Okay, the 4 aces. I'm going to put those down there. Now what you do is you get a spectator to put their hand over the top of the 4 aces that you've eliminated. You can get them to put them between their hands or just put it over the top. You then ask a spectator to choose any particular card they want. Now let's just say they choose a card from the middle. Okay, it's always a good idea to actually get it into the middle, okay, on here, but they've chosen the king. Now remember, we wouldn't see that, so they've taken the king. Okay, you turn it over and say, let's see what you've chosen, the king of diamonds, and you just show them that, the king of diamonds. And what you're going to do is you're going to take that king and you're going to add it in among the 4 cards. Now of course this will be under their hand or cupped within their hands, okay, but they could have had any card. You ask the spectator how many playing cards are under your hand, and they'll say 5 cards, and you ask them can they remember what they are. Now of course the 4 aces were eliminated before the chosen card was taken, before the trick was begun, so they will say the 4 aces. You then say to them, what was the card I put in your hand along with the aces? That's say the king of diamonds. Now that was blatant. Everybody in the audience witnessed that. This is a spectacular thing. You do a little bit of hocus pocus with the hands. You then ask the spectator to pick up the cards or uncup their hand and deal out, counting out aloud the cards. Now when they deal them, 1, 2, 3, when they get to this last card, they're absolutely dumbfounded because they don't know what's happened. They were holding 4 aces from the beginning. They felt and saw you put the extra card in afterwards, yet there's only 4. When the 4 cards are revealed, they are the 4 aces. Whatever happened to that chosen king that you actually gave them in front of everyone? Well, you talk about returning to their place of origin, and you remind them, where did you take the card from? At the top, the bottom, or the middle? And now say it was roughly the middle. Let's take a look, because if we go through the cards in exactly the same position it came from earlier on, there is your chosen card. You can examine the rest of the cards. There's no other duplicate kings. If you can work out how that magically got from between your hands back to where it came from, then you're a better man than I. Okay, so what actually happened here? Well, it's a very old trick, this one. There's nothing new about it. First of all, you need to be able to give the spectator 3 aces, not 4. Now, when I'm showing the cards, there's the club, the diamond, the heart. What I'm actually doing at this point is stealing back the 3rd ace underneath. Let me just show you that. Now, don't get me wrong, you magicians out there who I'm hoping are professional magicians or hobbyists and know lots of different secret moves, you'll know your own method of this, so you may do it a totally different way to how I'm showing you. But one way, just to pull off the 1st ace, the 2nd ace, the 3rd ace, you get a break under. Okay, so I'm going to exaggerate that. I get a break. As you pull the next ace, the whole pack comes over and covers that third ace, because you're going to grip it and take it away with you. So this comes right over, you grip it as you pull off this one. Okay, so the situation is you've got 3 aces here. You can do some sort of false count, and Elmsley, 1, 2, 3, 4 aces. They saw you count the aces. Remember, like everything in magic, they don't know what to expect next. So of course, why wouldn't they be the 4 aces? You give them, they can put them in the hand, that part of the trick's done. Now the other aces here on top of the pack. So you're going to get a spectator to choose a card, okay, in whichever way you prefer to do. You can say, I want you to cut the pack, say stop, we'll cut the pack, I've got the card there, you cut the pack, and you can do a double lift. Okay, turn it over and place that in there. Of course, what you're doing is placing that 4th ace in there. Their card remains on the pack, so you can just cut it into the pack. So the 3 of clubs has gone back in there. The magic's done. Do some hocus pocus. They deal the cards out. They're amazed to see that one card has disappeared. It happens to be their card. And when you spread the cards, there is their chosen card, the 3 of clubs. Whenever I'm showing anyone magic, I always say to them, there's more than one way to achieve the same outcome. So you might find different ways of forcing the card or stripping out a card, double turnover or whatever. But hopefully those 3 tricks will keep you going, and let us know if there's anything else you'd like to see on this magic. As I said, this is a first broadcast, a test, so getting some comments from people saying that the camera goes out of focus, it's a bit bright. We'll try and sort that out for next time, but hopefully this will give you some inspiration. Now, another trick that a lot of magicians do is where you ask a spectator to choose a card, and they can have any playing card they want. Okay, so in this case, the king. You get it returned back to the pack. Now, once it's returned, you then ask the spectator to shuffle, or you can shuffle. You can give it a few cuts. You can even give it an overhand shuffle or anything like that. Now, their card could be at the top, could be in the middle, could be at the bottom. Doesn't really matter. But the pack goes down. Now you explain to the spectator that you've now shuffled the pack. Their card could be in any position. You ask another spectator to give you a random number between 1 and 52. Now let's say they said 12. You then proceed to deal the cards down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 cards are dealt down. This is incredible, look, because there in the 12th position you could have had any of these cards. The 12th card down, as you can see, just happens to be their chosen card. It's a kind of cheating way of performing a magician's classic called any card at any number, or in this case, a card at any number. Now, what I like about this, now if you're a magician watching this, you would be jumping up in your seat and saying, I know exactly what you did there, and I would hope you would. But if you're pretty new to the magic fraternity, then let's see if you can spot how it was done. It's so obvious that when I was first shown this some 25-30 years ago, it was hard to believe that you would get away with actually working out how it was done, or someone would know how it was done, because it was so obvious. But here's how it works. A card is chosen. In this case, the 2 of diamonds. You can lose it Okay, you can manipulate it back to the top. That's where you need the card. Shuffle them. If you are going to get the spectator shuffle, then maybe get them to shuffle the cards. Of course, just palm it and then add it back to the top once they've shuffled. That way they believe they are in a random order. Now, this is a great thing. They give you a number, say 10. Watch what happens. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You could have had any number yet. In the 10th position, is that your card? And look, just to prove they're not all the same, you could have had any of those, and look, you can see just how deep it is into the pack there. It really is the 10th card down. Now you could see what happened there as you dealt the cards down. There's their card: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Doesn't matter how many cards. Of course, that's the card they chose, but blatantly you turn the whole pack over. As soon as they see their card, they go, wow. Before they have a chance to think about what's happened, with your thumb, slide off the top card and fan the other cards to divert their attention away from that for a moment as to what's just happened. You could have had any of these cards. Now, this is the beauty of this. As you turn these back down on top, it really does give the illusion that their card was the 15th card down, because people can see the stack of cards on top. You can then pull this out, and it's a great illusion. As I said, I was shown this 25, 30 years ago, and when I got blown away by it, I thought it was great in the heat of the moment. And when someone told me how it worked, I was frightened for many years of actually performing this, because I thought no one is that much of a sucker to believe that that would work. And you know, since I've been performing this for audiences throughout the UK for more than 20 years, it's worked every time. Remember, when things are happening live and the action's going on, people can get carried away with the atmosphere, what's happening. They don't know what's coming next. You're talking to them, making eye contact. Remember, watching this video's changed everything about misdirection, because anyone watches on video, you could just rewind it, watch it once or twice, and you'll know how it works. And it will take the magic away from it. It's that spur of the moment part where a lot of magic you can get away with. And it was great before the advent of video, because of course you couldn't keep rewinding and slow motion. But that's a nice little trick there. Okay, let's look at another very simplistic trick, and I'm going to use, as they're together, the 4 aces again. Okay, so we've got the 4 aces. I'm going to place the 4 aces down onto the table. Let's put this one here because it gets a better picture. Red, black, red, black. We then take 1, 2, 3 cards and we put them on here. 1, 2, 3 cards. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3 on there. We don't need the rest of the pack. So we're going to take the ace of love, the ace of hearts, and turn it and put it at the bottom of those cards. The ace of clubs, the ace of diamonds, and finally the good looking ace, the ace of spades. Now, for the skeptics out there that say, hey, I don't believe that they are under there they are. Ace, 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 ace. So if we take these piles of cards, what that does, that creates a stack of cards where every 4th card is an ace. Now at this point people disbelieve me, I don't know why, but if I deal out 3 cards and the 4th card, okay, we got 3 regular cards, but this really is the ace over here, and I'm going to just put that to one side. I'm going to deal out the other cards, and what I'd like you to do is, we know that this one's the ace. Over here, I want you to choose one of these piles of cards. In fact, on this score, let me just mix them up a little bit. And then you ask the spectator to choose any packet. Now they really can have any one, this one, this one, or this one. Let's say they went for this one, but they could have had these. It really is a free choice, so don't worry about that if we're trying to work out how this actually works. And we get rid of those. We take this packet of cards and we put it there. We take the aces. Now, if we take one of the aces from the ace pile, we take one of the regular cards from your chosen packet. Remember, you could have chosen one of these. And we're going to swap these over. You see, there's an old saying that aces will follow aces. And if we put this under here, watch, just a little flick. It's the flick that does the trick. Are you ready? And there's the 4 aces. For the skeptics among you, they're not there. And remember, you could have chosen these 2 packets of cards, and there you can see they're not there. And it's called aces follow aces. Okay, very quickly then, how does this work? Very simple. You put the cards out, you deal the cards on there, 3 on each. That's just standard, no trickery. The aces go at the bottom. This is a simple trick that just involves a lot of showmanship. You collect them up. Now, what I said in the trick was that every 4th card is an ace, and that's a true statement. Every 4th card in here is an ace. And if we deal the cards out, we know that's an ace. And if I was to deal them out again, that would be another ace, and so on. This is the deal. When you deal these out, what I need to do is to take the top card and put it to the bottom. Okay, I just do that quite blatantly. If you are a magician that's skilled in manipulating cards, you can do some fancy cut or palm, but I just use this to say these are the 3 regular cards, and I use this as something to flip over the ace. And as I return the card, I just put it back to the bottom. Now, what's actually happened is that the cards are now 1 out of sequence. That means that when I deal the cards again, the aces are not here, they're going to be here. So let me just deal these out. There's the other ace. There's the other ace. So basically, these are regular cards. These are all aces here. You square these cards up and you can inadvertently flash the bottom cards. Again, it's all in the mind. People assume that you're telling the truth, even though these are all aces. You can mix these up. That's just to add a bit more effect. Just keep your eye on the packet that they might choose. Okay, so just keep your eye on that. Now let's say it chose that. Now you use Magician's Force here. Okay, you ask them to point to a packet. Now if they point to this one, you can choose that. They've chosen the right packet. If they point to this one, okay, you then ask them to, say if they pointed to that one, you then say point to another one. Put your finger on another one. Now, if they pick this one, then you pick those out. If they put their finger on this, you say, I'm going to eliminate these. You then ask them, can you lift your finger off of one of the packets? Now, if they lift it off this one, that's the one you're going to use. If they lift it off this one, get rid of that. Whatever happens, Magician Force that. I'm sure you guys know how to do that. The rest of it is your showmanship. You take the bottom card out from the aces here. You swap these over. They believe that aces follow aces, and they do. They're swear blind you're using more than 4 aces, but to convince them, those. And the real kicker is when you show them that they could have chosen that pile or this pile. And it's called aces follow aces. Very simplistic indeed. That's all I'm going to do tonight. I'll be back on a regular basis. Hopefully you'll put some comments in, and hope you enjoyed that. From Totally Magic, keep it real.